Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sap, and I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'd like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Roka Kodash Mahamath. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawam. Salutation to the Akims who are the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, we have here what is called the Warriors, right? For Christ in Jacksonville. Now, some of these people, we see them at the parks that we go to when we're camping, and we camp out. And some of them come up to us and the elder will speak. You ask him questions, he will share with you, right? But the problem is when they don't want to look into what they are calling the Son of God. Something so simple, I'm going to play a little bit. And the title of this lesson, Behold, I stand at the door. Okay, here we go.
Go to church to be saved. You don't have to clean up your life to be saved. You can be the biggest sinner in Jacksonville today, and the Lord will save you. The Lord will welcome you. The Lord will receive you and change you into a giant for Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Jesus died for you and for me. He was crucified on the cross. He was died in the open. We preached the gospel to the open. Jesus said, choose you this day who's you going to serve. After me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Okay, I can only see so much of that. Okay, but it's sad, because our people, the so-called Negros, Latinos, American speckled birds, are still, in 2023, still following this blue-eyed, long, blonde hair, right, so-called white man, okay? When, if they look into it, they have a phone, okay? So they can be smart for once in their life. That is not who they think he is, right? That is really Caesar Borgia, son of a pope, a rapist and a murderer, right? He raped his own sister, murdered his own sister, right? But they don't want to even look into it, even when you share with them information about it, right? And then they come out saying, well, the name is not important. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're married, start calling your wife by another name every day, especially when you're in the bedroom, right? If you're not married, you have a dad, a father, why don't you call him by another name every day and see what happens, okay? So, they go out, they feed the poor, the hungry, right? And then as you can see from the beginning, the guy said that you don't have to go to a church, and that it doesn't matter how big you sin, right? He will accept you. Well, he's only going to accept the so-called Negros Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds, right? 12 tribes, okay? I want to go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. In red letters it says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and will supper with him and he with me." Right? So when we are in the highways and byways as a living sacrifice, okay, we are knocking on our people's door when they pass by. Okay? We let them know that the name of the Father is Yahweh and the name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. He cannot be called Jesus for the simple reason that the letter J was never, ever, right, in the Paleo-Hebrew alphabets. Number one. Number two, the letter J was invented, I believe, in the 1500 or in the 1600. Number three, the name Jesus is Latin or Greek. The Son of Yahweh, of God, he is not Latin nor Greek. He is Hebrew. I had one of the Christians guys that I share that with, he asked me, well, God is Hebrew? You know, he answered the question himself, to be honest. I left it alone. I told him look into it. I gave him information. And then on top of that, okay, number four, identity theft. Right? I mean, he is not with blue eyes. The Son of God, Yahweh Shai, does not have blue eyes, long blonde hair, and he is not white. Okay? Just like our people are not black. Okay? So the person said, well, we don't, what the Christian said to me, he said, yeah, we don't believe in that one. Well, every time you use the name Jesus or Christ, you're talking about a so-called white man, period. I don't care if you don't accept him with long blonde hair or blue eyes. You're still talking about so-called white man. All right? I want to go to Luke chapter 12. Give me a minute. Chapter 12, verse 34. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's where your mind would be. Okay? They're over here still holding on to that Jesus, right? And we're living in the 2023, going to 2024, when they have technology to look into these things, right? They got a phone. Verse 35, let your loins be girded about and your light burning. Light, right? Your truth. Let it be burning with truth, right? Not with deception, not with lies. Verse 36, and ye yourself like unto men that wait for their Lord Yahweh Shai, when he will return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they may open unto him immediately. Okay? So, if the Father Yahweh speaks Hebrew, Paleo, ancient Hebrew, okay, the Son's going to speak also Hebrew, right? So how are you going to have a Latin and Greek name? Doesn't make no sense at all, okay? Verse 37, blessed are those servants whom the Lord Yahweh Shai, when he comes, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. Right? Because he's going to see that, hey, they are doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They are speaking the truth. Bow as lions. Right? But, as you can see, our 2/3 of our people, so-called Negros, Latinos, American speckled birds, want to keep holding on to this Jesus mentality, right? And then using a bullhorn. No need to use a bullhorn. First Peter. Give me a minute. First Peter, I'm looking. Oh, here we go. Chapter 1, verse 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai. You know, a lot of Christians believe already that they're saved. Okay? That this world system is the kingdom. Right? That everything, when he comes back, he's coming for everybody. Everything is going to be hunky-dory for everyone. Right? That's not the truth. Okay? Verse 14, as obedient children, not fashioning yourself according to the formal lust in your ignorance. Right? It's making it clear. Don't go by your own wisdom. Don't go by your feelings. Right? Go by truth. Right? And the truth is only given to those who are called. Okay? You cannot go to a college Christianity school and get a degree on truth. It doesn't work that way. Verse 15. But as he which hath called you is holy, set apart, so be ye holy in all matters of conversation. Right? But no. They want to be holding on to something that they have not looked into. I mean, you would think that by now, with technology and having a smartphone, our people, so-called Negros Latinos, Mexican speckled birds, will say, hey, you know, let me look into this Jesus. You know, I heard about this identity theft, right? Who is this man anyway with blue eyes, long blonde hair, right? I mean, so far we know that he likes to wear high heels because they're the ones who brought that wickedness to our people. They're the ones who were raping our people, right? To shame them. So how can they be the ones that are sent from Yahweh? Where does the true Son of God was raping? Men with men and women with women and babies. Huh? Come on, man. Wake up. I want to go to 2 Corinthians. Chapter 7, verse 1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of Yahweh. Yeah, they don't fear how they're going to fear the Father if they don't fear the true Son, right? I mean, when you look into the documentary of that so-called Jesus, right, the blue eyes, long blonde hair, when his real name is Caesar Borgia, son of the Pope, a rapist and a murderer, where did the Son of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, he wasn't raping his own sister. He doesn't sleep with men. But does Jesus do? Come on, man. Do your homework. First, allegedly, just in case. Because they can always delete the documentary like they're doing lately with other documentary history of our past. 1 John. Give me a minute. Looking for 1 John. I know I see it right here. Chapter 3, verse 3. And every man that has his hope in him purifies himself, even as he is pure. How do you purify yourself? Well, you got to start with the name, right? Like the elder said, you got to start with faith. So how are you going to be quoting a name that's not even ancient Paleo Hebrew? How are you going to have faith and then on a name that is Latin and Greek, and then right away you have other names that you call him? Right? Come on. That's crazy. I want to go to 1 John chapter 4, verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in the world. See? So we go in the highways and byways as a living sacrifice with boldness, right? Letting our people know, the so-called Negros Latinos, American speckled birds, that hey, that Jesus with blue eyes, long blonde hair is not the Son of God, right? The Bible tells you in Revelation chapter 13, right, who the Son of God is, okay? It's in every Bible, but no. They want to keep holding on to a name and not look into it, right? Okay, well, then you will become the 2/3 that the Bible talks about. That's going to be hit with what? With those missiles that are coming from Russia and China to America to burn it, to put it into ashes. On top of that, the so-called UFOs that are in the Bible are called chariots are going to be coming back, and they're going to be zapping left and right people and also sapping America to help burn it even more and quicker. I want to go to 1 John chapter 2, verse 28. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. Yeah. I mean, has it crossed your mind, right? You Christians, right? The so-called Negros Latinos, American speckled birds, that when you call him by that name, Jesus, what makes you think he's going to respond? Huh? When you know that that's a Latin and Greek name. That's an insult to him. Verse 29. If ye know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that do righteousness is born of him. Right? The condition acceptable to Yahweh, the doctrine concerning the way in which men may obtain a state approved of Yahweh, right? So, I don't know, man, the Kool-Aid that you're drinking is not going to save you. I want to go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord Yahweh Shai, when he comes, shall find so doing. Doing what? The work in truth. Now, when you saw them in the corner with those bull horns, you didn't even see them with garments on. Right? I mean, what's all that about? Okay? Just throwing it out there, man. these Christians, right? 2/3 of our people, 2023, and still want to hold on to false doctrine, right? And they want to keep deceiving our people. It's a big price to pay for that. Revelation chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and keeps his garment. Woo! Lest he what? Walks naked and they see his shame. Yeah. Nobody can deceive Yahweh Shin Yahushai. And those who are called to do the work test all spirits. Okay? Let me go to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. For yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahushai so comes as a thief in the night. Now, I'm sure they read this, but they don't understand it. Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So when the elder and our bishop was telling them about the missiles, they were shocked. Well, what missiles? And when the elder and our bishop tell them, well, you know, the ones that are going to be coming to America to destroy it. America's going to be destroyed? I don't know what Bible they're reading, man, but they're drinking too much Kool-Aid, that's for sure. Okay? Isaiah. Oops, I passed it. Chapter 13, verse 6. Yeah, America is going to get destroyed, it's going to get burned. Okay, with the lake of fire. The second death that's going to happen to 2/3 of our people, the so-called Negros, Latino, American, and speckled birds. But you will come back to the new kingdom as babies, okay? But because you want to be stiff-necked, you want to hold on to that Jesus, well, then, you know, you're going to get burned with Jesus. All right, verse 6. How, yea, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, you're going to know that the true teachers, servants, right, apostles were out there in the highways and byways speaking the truth, and you passed right by them. You spoke with them, but you kept walking away from the truth. Verse 7, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Yeah. Right? You're going to be so freaked out, right? You're going to slack the distress that's going to come upon you. All right? Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. Slakia, and sorrow. There'll be a sudden, sharp pain or painful emotion. Okay? Sorrow that shall take hold, Slakia, of them. They shall be in pain, as a woman that travails. They shall be amazed one at another. Their face shall be as flames. This is serious, man. For not repenting to the truth, right? And not putting faith in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. There's a price to pay. It's not a pretty one, but hey, that's the only way you're going to be able to get clean. Cleanse, Slakia, with fire. Verse 9, behold, the day of Yahweh comes cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Yeah. You want to keep holding on to that Jesus, well then you are sinning big time, right? Bottom line, I'll leave it with Proverbs. Let me do that. Chapter 2, verse 22. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. Don't you think it's time you so-called Negros Latinos, American speckled birds, to start looking into if you are walking in the truth? Right? Test the spirit. Look into the name. Start with the name. Right? With Christ and that Jesus. Isn't what they call that the Pope? Isn't the Pope using that when he speaks? Christ and Jesus? Remember, that is Caesar Borgia, son of the Pope. I hope that this was edifying. And with that, I'll say, Shalom.